Budgets might have something to do with a drop in lottery sales around the country. Many states that have a lottery, like Tennessee, are dealing with slumping sales. But I found out it's a different story for those who are willing to gamble what disposable income they do have right from their smartphones with sports betting instead. Sports betting has exploded.
People feel the lottery is much more of a crapshoot than sports betting is.
These days, there's not a commercial that goes by without a lure to wager your hard-earned money on a sports matchup. It's an emotional and exciting pull people like Tenarius Hilliard understands well.
You can watch the games, and there's an additional emotional investment in those games. So there's an adrenaline rush that comes with watching a basketball game and saying, oh, I need this guy to score 20 points. Oh, I need this guy to get 5 rebounds. So it's more excitement as opposed to getting a scratch off or waiting until the 5 or 6 o'clock news to see what numbers are.
With an $18.4 million decrease in lottery ticket sales from last year, Tennessee lottery officials may have to agree. A Tennessee lottery spokesperson acknowledged the decline, issuing this statement to 48 News. The Tennessee Education Lottery continues to look for new ways to increase sales, which have been impacted by sports wagering. The same scenarios playing out in states like Florida and Massachusetts. But for sports betting, it's a different story. We're coming off a stellar showing with the Super Bowl. Americans wagered a record $1.3 billion legally for the big game, according to estimates from the American Gaming Association. Alabama couldn't ante up. A statewide referendum for a lottery was voted down in 1999, and since, lawmakers have tried and tried again to get a bill through and have failed. A decline in lottery sales only bolsters an argument UNA Associate Professor of Economics Jason Imbrogno painted in his study, Gambling is the Wrong Way for Alabama. It was sanctioned by the conservative think tank, the Alabama Policy Institute.
And so what you see states do is they legalize the lottery, and the revenue goes up, and then as it starts to go down, they go, oh, let's legalize casinos. And revenue goes up, and then it starts to go down, and then they go, let's legalize sports betting. And guess what's going to happen? States end up relying on this very unreliable revenue source, and the problems that are created from it stay long term.
He says those chips end up falling on problems like bankruptcies, financial crimes, domestic violence, higher rates of suicide, and poverty. He says the ratio is stark, with a problem gambler having the ability to impact 6 other people.
And the negative aspects of gambling end up hurting more people than just the problem gambler.
And then when you combine smartphones and sports betting,
smartphone gambling is the apex predator of gambling legalization. You combine addictive things like gambling with the addictive nature of smartphones, and it just creates a tornado of problems.
The problem few affecting the majority argument falls flat for Hilliard.
We're missing out. So even whether you do it through a bookie or you do it through some kind of underground means, it's still money that's not coming towards the state.
So if Alabama were to legalize gaming, early estimates claim the state could bring in $400 million annually. Professor Imbrogno believes that's just a drop in the bucket of problems it will create. That's why his report is now in the hands of lawmakers to convince them otherwise. At this point, no substantial gaming bill with a lottery has been proposed in Montgomery. Of course, we'll keep you posted if that changes.